Hello friends, today I will start a new topic, that is embedded system. So before going to the embedded system, first we have to know what is the system. Okay, so embedded system, two parts: embedded on the system. Okay, so before knowing about the system, first we have to know about before knowing about the embedded system, first we have to know about the system, right? So this is a one system. In system you can give a one input, accordingly you will get a one output. Okay, so what is the difference between input and this output, right? So you are giving some signal as a input inside the system and you will get a output, right? So output, the output signal, that will be the modified form of the input signal. So when you give any signal into the system, so you will get a modified version of the input signal in the form of the output, right? Modified means so the definition of the system, that means the system based on the application. So whatever the application, suppose you want to use for washing machine, okay, one system you need one system. So for washing machine, so that means your based on your application you will get a one output. So your system will give a output based on your application. Whatever input signal you will give, based on your application, the system will give output. This output is the modified form of the input. The system manipulates or modify the input signal based on your applications, right? So next is the embedded system. So here you will give some input signal, okay? So when you pass this input signal, suppose sinusoidal wave you are giving inside the input system, okay? So at the output side, suppose you will get a cosine form. So that means this is a system which transfers the sine wave to the cosine wave, okay? Or you will get the low frequency signal to high frequency signal. Suppose it is low frequency signal, here you are getting high frequency signal. That is a modified form of the input signal, okay? So this is one kind of the system which converts the low frequency signal into the high frequency signal, right? Next come to the embedded system. Embedded system is, embedded means inside the system lots of components are there, okay, integrated form of the many components inside the system. That's why it is called the embedded, right? So what is the function of this embedded system? Okay, so it can perform only the specific task based on the one particular application, right? So it can only perform the one specific task based on the particular applications, okay? So it's like a computer, but it's not a computer, okay? It's like computer but not exactly, okay? So the embedded system, it has the capability to perform one specific task, okay? So based on one particular application. What are the main examples of the embedded system? You think about the AC, washing machine, calculator, okay, lots of applications are there. So the washing machine, it has one only application, okay? It can clean the clothes, okay? And then calculator, so it has the capability to do mathematics, okay? And the AC, which controls the temperature, right? So all these, inside all the systems you have the embedded IC, okay? which includes lots of components. Okay, I will tell later what are the components are mainly required for designing the embedded system. Right. So I told that it is like a computer but not similar to computer, right? So here computer can perform multiple tasks, right? But in the embedded system only specific. Okay, so it is used for normal general purpose, used for different application. You can use the internet, you can download any kind of the game for computer. You will have the calculator inside the computer also, right? So you can do calculation, you can perform any kind of the game, or you will have the music player also, right? But suppose if we have the separate MP3 player, so it has a one only specific task, right? It cannot perform other tasks. Okay, so that is the main difference. Okay, so both are the system only, but it has a capability to perform the multiple tasks, but it has only the one capability. Okay, and the main different thing is that here high processing power. For computer, high processing power is required, but for embedded system, low processing power. For embedded system also, less number of data you can store, less data, but for computer you can store higher amount of data. Okay, so computer high processing power, but I can store higher amount of data. But for case of the embedded system, it has low processing power, but it cannot store higher amount of data. So why do we can use mainly the embedded system? Okay, in different applications. I told the AC, washing machine, calculator, different kind of the MP3 player. Here you can use the embedded system, right? But in all these applications, you will have some IC or integrated circuit. Okay. What kind of the IC can be used for the embedded system? Okay, so one is the microcontroller and microprocessor. This embedded system, microcontroller. Microprocessor, integrated circuit. So microcontroller, microprocessor based integrated circuit that supports the embedded system. Okay, it provides some specific for microprocessor. It can provide the 2-3 tasks, but for case of the microcontroller based integrated circuit, it can only provide the single task, right? So it has the high computational power to perform some specific task, right? So microcontroller and microprocessor based integrated circuit, this entire system can support the embedded system. Okay. Second is the IoT based device. IoT means it is a network object which can connect the multiple devices, right? So for designing IoT based device also you need the embedded based support. Okay, so one is a if you want to design any kind of a microcontroller based integrated circuit, you need the embedded system support, and for IoT based device also you need the embedded system support. Okay, third is the time sensitive device. For designing the time sensitive device you need embedded system. Okay, like your washing machine. So that time sensitive device means some specific task has to be performed by that device within a specific time. Okay, that time may be less time also, it may be higher, longer time. Okay, you have to perform the specific, the system has to perform the specific task for a longer period of time. Okay, so for these three applications you need mainly the embedded system support. Okay, microcontroller based device, integrated circuit, IoT based device, and the time sensitive device. The time sensitive device means in microcontroller or in the embedded system, one features is there, that is the timer or counter. Okay, so timer can be used for designing the time sensitive device. Okay, so time sensitive device, one example is that washing machine. Okay, it is time sensitive device. Okay, so microcontroller, this is one kind of the integrated circuit. Okay, this is also called as a one embedded system, and this embedded system, this is one kind of the small circuit. Okay, this circuit can be placed inside the washing machine, so the entire system will become as a embedded system. Okay, for performing the some specific task within a specific time. Okay, and digital clock, this, if you think about the digital clock, this is also one kind of the embedded system. Okay, and smart clock, if you think, so that will be based on the IoT, okay, and the embedded system. The smart clock, that is based on the IoT and the embedded system. Now, what are the main advantages of the embedded system? First, I told that when you compare with the computer, so embedded system has the high processing, less processing power. Okay, as compared to the computer. So you can use the embedded system for specific application due to the less processing power as compared to the computer, and one hardware can be used for different applications. Third is the, now come to the, apart from the processing power, there is one parameter, that is cost. Okay, so low operational cost. Okay, so it is the high performance and high efficiency. Low operational cost means if you want to design the digital clock or smart clock, okay, the price will be very less as compared to the one high processing power based computer. Okay, that's why it is low processing cost as compared to the computer or other system, right? And it will give the high efficiency as well as the high performance. These are the advantages. Now if you come to the disadvantages. So for disadvantages, so normally if you want to design any kind of the embedded system, this is based on integrated circuit. So the circuit will be very much complex. So for designing embedded system, it will take more time as compared to the designing the other system like computer. Okay, so this is small. The circuit size is also very small, and it is the integrated circuit. That's why it will take more time to design. Okay, and the high skilled person is required. Okay, so suppose a small mistake is there inside the system, you cannot use that particular embedded system for a different application. Here I told that only one hardware can be used for different application, but if small mistake is there, you cannot use that particular hardware in different application. There will be failure in each and every device. Okay, so these are the advantages and disadvantages. Now come to the components. Okay, so normally, so I will give the one example for designing the block diagram. Okay, so now here I am writing the what are the components are mainly required for designing the embedded system. First is the sensor. Okay. Second is the analog to digital converter. Third is the processor. Fourth again come to the digital to converter. Fifth is the actuator. So these 5 components are required for designing the embedded system. Okay, and I told the one term that is a microcontroller and microprocessor based integrated circuit. Okay, so that microcontroller and microprocessor based integrated circuit, that is that can be placed inside the processor only. These are the types of the processor. Okay, so if you come to the microcontroller, so along with the microcontroller you need the other devices for designing the embedded system. Okay, so I'll give one example for describing these entire components. Okay, that we'll discuss on the next class. And one thing I want to tell, so the same kinds of the components are also required for designing the IoT device. So I am also giving lecture on IoT device. Okay, so apart from these components, you need mainly network connectivity and the user interface. Okay, these components are not required for designing embedded system. So IoT device, for designing the IoT device, you need the embedded system component as well as the other network connectivity and other components also. Okay, so this I will describe with the example. Okay, that I will discuss on the next class. Okay, so kindly like, share and subscribe my this new playlist. Thank you.